number of overheads, trying to put pressure onto the Pakistan defenders, breaking up all the rhythm. Yet a Pakistan team, on the other hand, trying to get some rhythm, trying to keep the tempo high, trying to play fast, but without a lot of success. Probably the score at half-time of 1-1 is probably a fair indication of the game, and of course the goal by Meinhardt signalled everybody how dangerous he can be on those penalty corners.
Yes, and of course Andreas Becker spent that time in the sin bin, and that's when Germany scored their goal, which was very interesting. But there's still plenty of time left in this second semi-final. The winner to meet Netherlands in the final. At the halfway point, it's 1-1, Germany and Pakistan.
Talking about Shabazz Jr. and Shabazz about their injuries, and neither of them can prop correctly off their left foot, and that's causing them all sorts of problems. I'm really quite surprised that Wasim Feroz is not back on the left wing. Persevered with Shabazz Jr. on the left wing. That's Shabazz the captain, and he's only playing a role, like a leadership role on the field, and motivating the players without doing much himself.
The Pakistan side, no changes.
Just about ready for this second half. 1-1, Pakistan, Germany. Shabazz with it now, and really even a half-fit Shabazz makes a lot of difference.
Well, it's just more of a psychological thing with Shabazz and the team. There's the stats at half-time. Pakistan, no penalty corners. Germany, 3 penalty corners and a goal, and of course that marvellous goal by Meinhardt. The shots at goal, Pakistan only 1 shot at goal for 1 goal, and Germany 3 shots at goal, and of course that goal. So 1-1, probably very even contest, and it's going to be a battle of the defences probably to see who helps their team get through to this final on Sunday in Perth in Sydney against the Netherlands.
Germany's made a couple of changes. Ulrich Meusel and Michael Wolthauser back on for Bjorn Michel and Patrick Bellenbaum.
Yes, I really believe the Pakistan team have got the job in front of them, with so many players in their forward line who are injured, but they're such a talented group, you can never write them off.
Blanc.
Paul Lissick sitting there calling instructions to his team.
One interesting stat about the German team is that they've only in fact had 2 coaches over about the last 15 or so years.
I've only ever known them to have 2 coaches, except they had a stand-in coach in 1990 at the Champions Trophy during the transition from Klaus Klauter to Paul Lissick, and that was just for 1 tournament.
Interesting too to compare that to Pakistan, who've had a great deal of changes in their coaching lineup.
Yes, not as many as India, but certainly enough.
Shabazz, can he weave his magic? Well, it's tough to chase that with a sore hamstring. He does well, Shabazz. The cross was met by Tiwaz.
Abdul Rashid, famous centre forward from Pakistan, played in the 1968, 72 and 76 Olympics, and a prolific goal scorer for Pakistan with more than 100 goals in international hockey. And he's taken over this team only a month ago, so he's done a very good job.
How difficult must it be, though, for a team to constantly change and adjust to different coaches and management?
Well, they obviously weren't happy with the performance at the Asian Games, and when they finished 3rd behind Korea and India, and they wanted to make that change, and they decided to do it at the World Cup.
Blanc with his second good run for the half. Just minutes into it. Blanc and Wolthauser is there. Blanc, Meinhardt. Too high. Pakistan now on the run. Shabazz is down the left. Back inside, Shabazz. Somebody's lost his stick. It was Moisel. Tahir. Too easy for Blanc.
Yeah, Tahir's got to really lift. He's done next to nothing in this game.
This is Meinhardt. Becker's there. Good play, Germany. Becker's cross. Little bit high. In any case, Usman was there, I think, for Pakistan.
Here's the pass from to Becker from Meinhardt. It's very hard through the circle, but it was obviously raised a little bit, and Usman was there to save it. The umpire Don Pryor blew it up.
Tackle from Moisel. Here's Meinhardt. Into a bit of space there, but it's picked up by Usman.
Yeah, well read, Usman.
Bajwa.
Hello, there's a bit of talk between the umpire. He was going to give a free hit to Pakistan, but someone said something, and Santi Deo just reversed it.
Blowing his whistle with the usual authority, and Brian Glencross, what's going on down in the dugout?
Back, and Santi Deo just changed his decision straight away. It was, he just didn't like any of that.
Well, all the players know him. There's no excuse. They know that he's just as liable to turn it.
Shabazz past Moisel and Bunk. Still Shabazz. This is how we know him.
He has a great capacity to realise where people don't have their hockey stick. He can poke it through your legs. He can lift it over a stick. He's just so clever in those situations.
Must have taken his pet pills at half-time. He's had a couple of good runs so far. Just 5 minutes into the second half. Still 1-1.
He's probably just trying to make sure that he's going to last the game. Because if he walks off the field, the Pakistan team becomes so demoralised.
Tahir. Bajwa. Certainly a couple of little runs like that too is going to make the German team feel a little bit nervous.
Oh, they are, because they know how devastating he can be, and if you actually look at his record, he hasn't scored an enormous number of goals for Pakistan, 50 or 60, but the number of goals he's sent up has just been enormous.
Rana at the back for Pakistan. He's closed in upon.
If Shabazz tracked that, he was away. Moisel was eliminated by the pass.